Welcome back to BaldHeaded Metal, guys. My name is Joseph. Today I want to react to an unknown band, probably to most of you guys, is Arcania with the song Dreams Are Dead. Now, the reason I want to react to it, I don't get a lot of requests on this channel for thrash metal, and people who are anything relatively familiar with this channel know that's my favorite genre of heavy metal. I love me some thrash metal, especially a thrash metal band that I haven't heard, which at this point is very hard for me that I haven't heard. Even the bad ones I've heard at this point because I've been trying to just scour the internet for interesting thrash metal bands. So let's check what this is all about. I know it's more niche, I know it's more unknown, but perhaps maybe we could discover something interesting for the both of us. With that being said, let's jump into it and see what we got. Okay, we got progressive thrash. That's what it's going to sound like from the beginning, because already the drumming pattern is doing some interesting things here. The intro melody is interesting so far, but again, I want to see how the song progresses and if it has a heaviness to it. That's one thing I really love in thrash metal, is some nice chunky heaviness. Okay. 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 I'm sorry. I didn't write down the name of the person who recommended me this. Thank you. This sounds like some legit stuff right here. He gave me the comparison that if Gojira did thrash, all I can hear is death metal. Well, not death metal, particularly death with the album Symbolic, and especially sound Symbolic and some of Sound of Perseverance. That kind of progression in their music. Some of Atheist, if you guys are familiar with that band, and some like progressive thrash metal bands as well, which I can't think of a particular name right now, but kind of starts reminding me of like maybe something like Vector. Yeah, this is some interesting songwriting. I'm intrigued. I'm on board. I want to hear the album now. I'm probably going to download it on YouTube Music and check it out. This is also not immediately catchy. It's going to be one of those bands you have to kind of listen to and really get into the music, which can be a hard sell for some people because we want instant gratification. We want to get into it, be right on with it, right, and be on board. But I think some of the best bands I've ever discovered are growers. And that was the case with Death. I've said this on the channel a couple of times where I remember listening to Symbolic and I listening to Individual Thought Pattern and Sound of Perseverance and not liking those albums. And my brother would literally look at me like, what is wrong with you? And I just couldn't get into them. Iron Maiden, for a long time, the songs, I was very impatient as a kid. Songs were too long for me. I didn't like their music for the most part. So it took me time to kind of get into this music, and then it was just a discovery. It was a late discovery, but it was a discovery that was phenomenal for me when I did. So I think this will be one of those bands that's going to require a little bit more patience. Yeah, unfortunately, bands like this don't get a lot of recognition because thrash metal is not the genre anymore. It's mostly melodic death metal, and it seems to be power metal, the two main genres that are really exploding. The gent kind of been rising up as well. But thrash metal that's progressive, that has these kind of jazz influences in it, it would be a hard sell, and it's a shame because they are right off the bat. I think even if they're not for you, I think it's easy to recognize they're talented musicians. For sure, if you like this, check out Vector, Cosmic Cortex album. It's heavier, it's black and thrash, but it has insane progressions like they do here. The only thing that took me a while to get used to with Vector is the screeching vocals, where the vocals here are a lot more pleasing to the ear. The screeching vocals took me a long time to kind of get used to. As a matter of fact, I actually like them now. But the music, it gives me that same feeling, not necessarily same song structure, same feeling of almost improvisational progression within the music. I also see though the comparisons that you guys are making to Gojira here with this one. I do see the comparisons. Actually, guys, I actually checked out the whole Fortitude album of Gojira, and I gotta be honest, it wasn't clicking for me. Amazonia was the only song I liked on that album, and not because it's bad. It's definitely not bad. It's been nominated for many different people's top album of the year. As the Amazonia song has been nominated for a Grammy, but for some reason, just something doesn't click with that band for me. But I think I'm gonna dive into their older songs first. Dope. I have zero bad things to say about this song. I like the production, I like the song, I like the progressions, I like the vocals. I thought it was overall a good song. The only thing about it is it's not, you know, that sometimes you hear a song and it immediately just like, I absolutely have to hear more right now, this very second. And I didn't get that feeling with this band, not because they're bad, but just I like I said, I feel like it's gonna be a grower. It's one of those, once I've finished the album, it's gonna be like, whoa. But for example, Discovering As Fix, over the course of last weekend, I heard one song, and from that I was just hooked. I'm like, I'm gonna listen to the whole album, and I ended up listening to most of the discography actually. That's how hooked I got on a band. You get different kinds of ways of getting into a band. This is kind of my approach with this one. Let me guys know what you thought of this particular song, and I'm happy to just be able to, maybe a couple more people will see this band. I'll be happy to showcase it to other people because I think this is worthy of checking out. Guys, make sure you enjoy the rest of your day. If you enjoy these kinds of reactions where we cover popular and not so popular bands, and we say good things and bad things and have discussions here, as well as do metal reviews and metal podcasts, which I do on this channel, guys, make sure to subscribe down for more as I try to release as much as I can throughout the week. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your day. Keep it metal.